Because for every BTU we contain in the unit, that's an extra BTU that goes into the pyrolysis chamber, and it's also an extra BTU that's available to tap off it for auxiliary uses. One reason that we've set it up like this with these holes where they are, when this gets too hot, which it does when the conditions are just right, this amount of excess gas, or it's producing a tremendous amount of excess gas. It's estimated that only about 10% of the energy content of the wood itself is required to maintain the pyrolysis process. Part of that is kept in the char, is stored in the char. Part of it goes up the chimney. So what you're left with is about 60% of the heat that comes out of here is not necessary to maintain the pyrolysis process, and it can be drawn off for other uses. It's about the same quality as landfill methane. It's not quite pipeline quality natural gas, but it's pretty darn good stuff. And with a little cooling and a little very crude filtration, you can run an internal combustion. You can use the heat that's coming off the exhaust gases themselves and channel that to a heat exchanger. Or you can use the unburned gases coming directly out of the inner pyrolysis chamber, tap them off, and use that as a flammable gas. It's largely methane and carbon monoxide.
Where's that going now?
Right now it's coming out of the bottom of the inner, well, it's not being produced yet, but when it's produced, it comes out of the bottom of the inner barrel. A yellow flame, which indicates a very efficient combustion process. And by the time it gets about up here, it's completely combusted. So what you see coming out there at the top, when it's operating correctly, is clear. There's virtually nothing coming out of the top except CO2 and water vapor.
Do you have a diagram of the interior, whatever's going on?
Yeah. There's the outer barrel.
I have it in the truck, Peter.
Here's the inner barrel. Here's the lid. There's the stack. That's it. There's fire here. There's gas coming out there, creating the fire, and it's going up the stack. It's as simple, except for a little bit of some variations in the piping. It's as simple as that, and that's one reason we're going with this particular technology. It's dead simple. There's no moving parts. Our air technology will have thermocouples on the outer chamber and the inner chamber. We'll have dials up here telling us exactly what the temperature is at the inner chamber. We'll have valves to tap off gas and exhaust heat, which we can turn up when it's too hot, turn them down when it's too cold.
That will take a lot of the fun away, though.
Yes.
If you light it on top, the fire has to make an effort to move down layer by layer. And if you were to put it on a balance, you would find that it just went steadily down like that. So, since I want to light the top, I don't want any fuel to get to the bottom because it would form a train and would go down there and it would burn this way instead of burn that way. So this is a sprayer with the liquid fuel so that I can...
Is this kerosene you're going to spray on?
Huh? What's the fuel? What? Tiki torch.
Uh-huh.
What's that?
Kerosene, isn't it?
Citronella?
Citronella, yeah.
Well, it's probably kerosene and citronella, right?
It could be a lot of kerosene in there.
There's a lot of alcohol in citrus
That's the cheap
peels
one
and stuff
anyway.
like that too. There is alcohol there.
So I'm trying to keep all of this as a spray, just to keep it on the top. Get a good fire going, if necessary.
Seems like they're laying down on it.
I believe in propane. And which way is the wind blowing? That way?
From me.
From
Get over
you.
this side.
I better start on this side.
Yeah, right over here, right about here.
When it comes to firewood.
You're just in the wrong place.
Well, the wind's going that way.
Yeah,
And I want it to start downwind
okay.
and then come around upwind.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it doesn't light. It's going to burn down in about half an hour, I think.
About half an hour. And so you're gonna put it out before it turns to ash. Is that the idea?
Well, the idea would normally be to stand here with a hose.
Okay.
And as soon as you start, see the white, a little bit of
Yeah,
white?
I've seen that. There's the ash protection, right?
That's the ash production. That's charcoal burning rather than wood. Wood burning doesn't makes it black.
Sure.
And then charcoal burning leaves it white.
So how are we gonna make sure we get char in the end and not just a big pile of ash?
Because if we had, we'd stand here with a hose.
Just control it the whole time.
Control it, right.
Okay.
If this was a tall pile,
Yeah.
this would do very well. This is not bad. Looks like we might
Pretty
make
hot.
it. I think we're going to make it. Notice that it's a pretty clean flame. You
So-
can't see any smoke.
So this may not be the most. We don't get the most product out of this process, but this might be the easiest, most labor,
Well, I think
not labor
under
intensive.
the right
method.
conditions, if you started this with a very dry charcoal,
Okay.
I imagine you could get over 20%.
You get 20%. You think? You do that?
But you got to stand around and tend it, and when it gets to the charcoal stage, like
Start
all these
mixing
guys
it
out
there.
here are going to burn up.
And so if I had a hose, I should spray it right in the middle of that hot
I
fire
think
right now.
Just well, or even just let those little guys go, and when it gets out toward the edges, then
Then I start carrying it.
Tom, you want us to bring a hose over so you can manage this?
when it gets down to charcoal, I should have another one of these with water in it, and then I'd be going around with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but a big one. It
Oh,
takes a lot
What, a lot of water?
of water to put charcoal in. Mighty toasty. Are there any fire marshals around?
Ask Tom.
Notice we've got most of the flame going up now, even though the wind was blowing that way.
Okay, so where does the charcoal get into the picture now?
It's all going to be charcoal where the flames above where the flames are originating. Where the flames are down to the bottom,
Yeah.
those are the volatiles coming off the wood, and they are absorbing all the oxygen. So there's no oxygen going up into these upper sections, like right there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You see
So
what I
did you
mean?
build it in a
And
certain way?
So if this was a true pyramid coming up like that, and you just lit the top, the gases coming up start burning the volatiles, and then by the time they get to the charcoal, all of the air is gone, all the oxygen is gone. So they are protecting it. I think the ideal shape of the pile would be something like that, so that all of this fire from below is protecting the charcoal above. Then you could get pretty much full yield of charcoal, I would think.
Looks to me like this would just turn to ash. But he's got, if anyone knows, he must know. We shall see.
But he said that he uses water normally.
Yeah, so we've asked several times, why don't we bring some water over, right? Let's just, maybe I'll just do it, right? I'm gonna get some water. I'll go get the hose.
Which have no source of ignition.
Is this brush on the damp side to begin with?
It's being started when it goes into the ground, so that looks great.
It does look nice.
Now, you got to keep your eye on that charcoal. I see it's a little bit smoke here and there.
Yeah, I don't care to
Wait for
reignite.
15 minutes. We find 2 or 3 little pockets of burning charcoal.
Right.
It'd be 400, 450 centigrade. Yeah. A lot of volatiles. This is likely to cook off 90% of the volatiles. So it's pushing it as me.
Yeah, I'm gonna back off.
I don't see the charcoal.
Oh, all the black isn't charcoal. Okay.
My job is to stand around there
Is
too.
that charcoal or just singed wood?
I think if we'll get a piece out. I'm pretty sure it'll be charcoal. We have to wait till you're done, Tom.
So you're
I'm gonna prove that a piece of it
burning
is charcoal.
Okay, all right.
across the pile and putting it out behind where the fire's going.
Right.
That works.
Yeah, it's charcoal.
So if you paralyze the wood at 800, that would be that's too high.
And by Hugh's directions, if it doesn't leave a greasy stain on your hand, which this is, see, that's volatile. There's still volatiles in it. As I understand it. Now Hugh says that is volatiles when it makes a greasy stain on it.
Oh, I think he's right. You said that, huh?
Yeah. He says that's how you can judge it. And if it just crumbles to a powder and doesn't leave a greasy stain on your hand, there's no volatiles in it.
Okay, I think he's got something there.